Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day so far, and thanks for checking out the RFI training module video. In this video, we'll be going over the RFI notices module, showing you some best tips and practices, and on best how to use it. So to get things started, we'll head over to our menu, and under Documents, go to RFI Notices. Once here, you'll see that the dashboard is very similar to the other modules within Contractor Foreman. As you scroll down, you can see a list of all the different RFI notices that you've made so far, and if you're looking for a specific one, you can either use the search function or filter, and filter via projects, the RFI notice type, and the record status, if it's active or archived. In addition, on the top right hand corner, we have a button for a watch a how-to video, which is likely how you got here in the first place, and I'd highly recommend checking out these articles that we've written on RFI notices, which will also be a great resource as well. We also have a suggest a new feature button. Here at Contractor Foreman, we're always looking to improve and adapt to our needs of our customers. If you have a suggestion or a tip or something that you'd like to see, feel free to fill out this form. We're always monitoring this inbox and we're always looking to improve. Lastly is module settings. If you'd like to add custom fields to your RFIs or change the prefix number of how they start or how the numbers are created, or a number of other things, feel free to check out this button and play around with it. To make a new RFI, we'll go ahead and go to the top right hand corner and click on plus RFI notice. Now there's a few different options, the RFI, a schedule notice, and a compliance notice. We'll start off with the RFI and check out the other two notices later. Once here, there's a few different things that we'll need to fill out, and please note that any item that has an asterisk has to be filled out, which in this case is pretty much everything. We'll select one of our existing projects, title our RFI, and assign it to somebody. In this case, we want to get more information from our client. For this RFI, I'm going to be asking the client for an MAU spec, so we can install it in this building. And hit Create RFI. Now once here, there's a few more things that we can fill out to flesh out our RFI. As you can see, a number of the information was already pulled from the last screen. We can also include somebody to CC from our directory. In this case, I want our office manager, Amy Brown, to be included. If there's a specific plan sheet number that we want to reference, we can actually include it directly here, so it's quicker for the architect, the client, or the customer to review. Area in question, and fill that out to let them know where it is much quicker. And if it's in reference to a change order, you can go ahead and click on a change order if you have one created. The requested information was filled out from our previous tab, and we can go ahead and also set the response needed by date, which in this case I'll put in as next Friday. If the response has already been received and the RFI completed, you can document here by clicking on and confirming what date it was received and the response that we received from it. In addition, you can also add files over to the RFI. If there's any attachments that you'd like to send to the client, you can go ahead, add files, and when you're sending in the RFI, the client can also see this as well. And I'll go ahead and hit attach. And lastly, if there's any internal notes that you'd like to keep track for internal tracking purposes, you can use the Notes tab over here. Now, there's a few different ways to submit the RFI and change the status. You can do it manually by clicking on one of the buttons over here to update the status, and you can also email or download a PDF of the RFI directly for the client by clicking on View/Email PDF. Once here, it'll generate a PDF of the RFI, including the attachment that you added for the client to use, and you can either download it or email it directly to them. In addition, you can also send it to them directly via online response via Contractor Foreman. For this example, I'm going to change the two from my client over to myself for the sake of this exercise. I'm going to go to the top right hand corner and click on Send Request Online Response. And this will send me an email. I've got the email and it opens a link to Contractor Foreman, which I'm showing here. As you can see, the client will be able to see a full detail and full breakdown of the RFI that you submitted, along with the request for information and information requested, as well as an attachment of the PDF that you attached. They can enter a response. In this case, I'm going to be saying you can go ahead and feel free to use the makeup air unit that you attached, and go ahead and hit Submit Response. Once done, we'll head over to our RFI, hit refresh. And as you can see here, the response received and the response was automatically generated. Now, going back over to notices, there's two different types of notices that we can send over to our client directly. The first one is a schedule notice. We'll go ahead and make a new one. We'll call it weather delay due to snowstorm and send it to our client. Notice type. There's a few different notice type. It can be a schedule update if there's a revision to the project schedule, if there's a delay due to a subcontractor, or if there's a delay due to weather. In this case, I'll go ahead and choose the third one and hit create schedule notice. Here, we can add in the number of days that we think the site will be delayed by. In this case, it's 1 due to the ongoing snowstorm. Attach backup photos of the site if needed, and also keep track of any internal notes. If you'd like to send this over to the client, you can go ahead to the top right, view/email PDF, and download a PDF and email it to the client directly. Please note that if you add a number of days delayed, it does not automatically update the project schedule within Contractor Foreman. It will have to be updated manually. This is the best way. We recommend sending this update to the client via schedule notice and then updating the project schedule as well and sending that if needed as well. Now, if we go back, there's one more type of notice that we can create called a compliance notice. And we can note down if a client, a subcontractor, or consultant is out of compliance for this project. Go ahead and click on one of our projects, and I'll call this heat pump not in compliance with spec, and I'll send this to one of my contractors. The compliance type, it could be out of scope because the item that you're requesting is not part of the scope. Out of compliance, something that is not working according to the specification of the drawings. Poor workmanship, where you like to flag any item that was installed incorrectly or has poor workmanship. Not meeting contract requirements. It does not meet the specifications that were mentioned beforehand, or other, which you can fill out. In this case, I'm going to be putting out of compliance work and create this compliance notice. Similar to the schedule notice, we can go ahead and fill out a few of the other items that are open. We can go ahead and put a deadline for the client, subcontractor, or whoever the compliance notice is for. And if we get a response or a resolution, we can go ahead and document the date and what the response was. We can also outline what the issue is that was installed. Here we want to flag is that the makeup air unit is not meeting the BTU specified and is out of compliance. We can add files, photo, documents, any evidence that we'd like to add in the compliance notice, as well as any internal notes that we'd like to keep. And once done, we can go ahead to the top right-hand corner, click on view/email PDF, and send a PDF of the compliance notice to the consultant, the client, the customer, or whoever we'd like to send it to. That's pretty much it for RFI notices. Thank you very much for listening to the training video. If you need help or have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us by the live chat or send us an email at support@contractorforeman.com. And if you'd like to have any more in-depth training, make sure to book a session on our training page. Thanks for watching and see you in another video. Thanks.